Hey, Prime members, did you know that you could be listening to this episode and every episode of Funny 'Cause It's True ad-free on Amazon Music? That's right. Prime members get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts. To listen, download the Amazon Music app or visit amazon.com/FCIT. With Amazon Music, you get access to the most ad-free top podcasts. Avoid the ads and listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free with the Amazon Music app or by visiting amazon.com/FCIT. That's amazon.com/FCIT. If you struggle with anxiety or depression, let me start by saying you are not alone. Hers can help you find the support that you need. Through Hers, you can get access to real medical providers 100% online. The process is simple. No insurance, no doctor's appointments, no pharmacies, just mental health treatment. To get started, go to forhers.com/Elyse. That's forhers.com/ELYSE. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Lemonada.
Okay, actually, can you just pretend that you're listening to a fully complete theme song here? I got really in my head, and I tried to make it perfect, and I couldn't. So this is going to be the theme song right here. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Funny 'Cause It's True. I'm Elyse Myers. Today, I am super excited to introduce you to best friends in real life and hosts of the podcast titled Best Friends, Nicole Byer and Sasheer Zamata. Nicole's been nominated for 2 Emmys for hosting Netflix's Nailed It. She stars in Grand Crew and hosts multiple podcasts. Sasheer is a former SNL cast member. She's most recently been seen in Woke and Home Economics, and she just joined the Marvel Universe, which I think is super cool. When you get these two together, well, you're about to see for yourself. It's pretty magic. So 2 things that are funny because they're true. Number 1, both of these women have very infectious laughs. Like the entire time, the sound of their laugh throughout this interview just makes my heart so happy. I left very, very excited about life. And number 2, for somebody that claims to not be a doll person, Nicole sure talks about dolls a lot. Okay, let's get into it. Nicole, what are you munching on? I have to know because I just slammed some spicy Mexican food and it was a mistake.
Lasagna!
I love lasagna. Sasheer, did you just have some lunch too right before?
I did. I had some leftover poke from lunch yesterday. I'm not a poke person.
Really?
I tried it for the first time. I didn't realize how much raw fish it was about. It's a terrible sentence.
Are you not like a sushi person either?
Not really. The texture of raw fish for me is
it's too gummy.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
It is very gummy.
Okay, now that we're speaking about food, there was another question I was going to ask as an icebreaker, but I'm actually going to ask this. So you know how like when Christians take communion, it's like the body and the blood of Christ? Okay, so what would you assign to be your body and your blood if people had to take communion over you?
Lasagna and white wine.
I like it. Why?
I would
Why
say
are
vodka, but it's hard to
happening?
like slam vodka. Well, I'm layered.
But you only do little shots of...
Yeah, but I feel like it might be shocking. I think wine might be a little bit nicer for the palate and also might pair well with the lasagna.
Yeah,
Yes.
You want it to be an enjoyable experience, like a whole...
Yes.
Yeah. Sasheer, what about you?
hot dogs and ginger ale. Or no, maybe ginger beer.
Ooh, ginger beer. Okay.
Yeah.
When I lived in Australia, ginger beer was like that was like all they drank if you weren't drinking alcohol. And I
Yeah.
could not get it into the taste. I like wanted it to be my favorite, and I just like couldn't get
I
into it.
like the bite of it. I like ginger ale, but ginger beers feels a little spicier, a little more exciting.
It's dangerous soda.
It's like the closest thing you get to alcohol, but not alcohol.
for bad girls. And I'm in Georgia now, and ginger beer is everywhere, which I love because I also don't want to drink all the time when I'm going out. But I'm like, I'll have a fun drink. I'll have some ginger beer.
It is. It feels very fancy. Nicole, are you in LA still?
I am in LA. braving the rains. It's wonderful.
Amazing. I wanted to say I am huge fans of both of you, and I was introduced to both of your guys' works separately. Like one through Nailed It, Nicole, and then Home Economics, Sasheer. Both my favorite shows, and it was like when I got the opportunity to talk to both of you, and then like find out you guys were like best friends. I was like, this is so crazy, and so I am really happy to be talking to you today. And I wanted to ask, like, first of all, how did you guys meet, and how did you kind of start being friends and also so publicly?
We met through improv in New York City.
The Upright Citizens Brigade Theater.
Yeah.
We both have the same teacher, Sylvia Ozels. And she put together a group of like multi-level women to do a show. And Sasheer was one of the multi-leveled women, and as I was too.
What does multi-leveled women mean?
Both multi-leveled women. I think what she's trying to say is like each woman was at a different level of like class and experience at the theater, but not that each woman individually had different levels. I was like,
what does
they all
this mean?
Have different emotions and levels happening at the show. It was a real clusterfuck.
I guess really we are all
multi-level, just different levels.
When you really think about it.
What were your guys' first impressions of each other? Did you hit it off right off the bat?
We didn't really like speak to each other right off the bat. Like we did the show and I was like, boy, she's cool. She's pretty and she's cool. And I've said it in other interviews, but she was wearing like goldenrod and turquoise. And I was like, these colors are popping. Ooh. She has money too because she looks nice.
She has money too.
No, these are all thrift store clothes.
Sasheer, what did you think of Nicole?
I just remember being like, she's hilarious.
Oh,
like she's so funny. And yeah, I think maybe I'm like kind of, it takes me a minute to warm up to people in general. So I'm sure I was like shy to try to actually talk to her outside of the group.
Are you one of those people where like people think that you don't like them because you're so quiet that they're just like, she hates me?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel that way. I get really quiet and I just feel, then I like feel like if I don't say something, they're going to think I hate them. So then I overdo it. And then I end up just like, they're like annoying them.
It's a hard situation for everybody involved.
I don't think it was that hard for you to open up. I thought you opened up pretty quick.
Because I liked you.
Oh, because you were quiet sometimes, but I was like, oh, I think she's like a normal person who doesn't need to hear their voice at all times.
This is true.
So like you kept laughing at things and I would laugh at the same things. And I was like, okay, so she is funny, but she doesn't like talking that much. And then maybe like the first time we like hung out, I was like, oh no, she does talk. You just have to like talk to her about things she's interested in. But I gotta say, you're a great listener for stuff you are not interested in. And you're very supportive. I feel like you're my boyfriend sometimes. Like when we went and saw those vintage Broncos and you like very politely nodded your head, asked questions that you didn't care about the answer to, like for my benefit, I was like, oh, my boyfriend's so nice to me.
Yeah. I have been told many times I'm a great listener. And I guess it's not that I'm not easy to open up with other people, but I guess I don't need to talk all the time.
I think we should sit for the next hour in complete silence. I think that would make the most sense.
That would make me very happy.
I think that honestly, for the bonus material for this episode, we should just make the Sasheer cut, which is like 60 minutes of silence. So you met when you were doing at UCB, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what were your guys' goals when you were there? Because did you both want to kind of be where you're at right now, or did you have different ideas and it kind of happened this way?
I actually didn't go in with a goal. I had seen the touring company for UCB at my college before I moved to New York. And I was like, oh my God, they're so funny. And I guess there was a goal. So because there was a Q&A after, and Bobby Moynihan was part of the group at the time. And someone asked, how do you get a career in comedy? And he was like, move to New York, do UCB, and work really hard. And then he got on SNL like months later. And I was like, well, he must know what he's talking about.
So comedy was like the end goal, but that was as specific as it kind of was for you. Just comedy.
Yeah, or I knew I wanted to perform. I actually thought I was going to do theater. I auditioned for like off-Broadway stuff as soon as I got to New York, but then kept going to UCB to watch shows. And I was like, I think I should take some classes. And then I was taking classes. And then I was like, I think I should try to be in a group. And then was doing that. And it was mostly just because it was fun.
I love that.
And it felt like I was surrounded by people who like got me and who I got.
Yeah.
And then eventually the people I was surrounded by were getting on TV. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want that. And
This works.
yeah, this works. And then it kind of just like fell into place.
Nicole, did you come in with the kind of the same general dreams of comedy, or did you have a specific goal in mind?
Well, much like Sasheer, I thought I was going to do theater. And I did audition for some off-Broadway stuff. I auditioned for Grease. I remember the touring company of Grease. I don't sing. I also didn't bring sheet music. It was not a good time. So I truly Googled, what do actors do when they're not acting? And something that came up was improv. And I was like, okay, I'll do improv.
I don't think I knew that.
You didn't know that? That I literally Googled, what do actors do when they're not acting?
When you saw the result of improv, did that excite you or did that scare you?
It excited me because it's funny. A lot of people get pulled into improv from watching it. So
Yeah.
I took a class first. And then they're like, you're required to go see 2 shows. And I was like, okay. The first show I saw, I was like, I'm funnier than everybody on stage.
That's amazing.
And I don't remember what show it was, but I was like, nah, this is silly. Like, I have to take levels to like get on the stage. And then I don't know what I wanted out of it. I just knew that I was like, this was fun and I was funny and it was a way to perform and get my endorphins from performing. And then by like 4:01, I was like, well, obviously I'll just become an improv teacher and book a commercial every now and again to really like go on a trip. Moved to LA, coached improv for a little bit, found out I'm not good at it.
Oh,
I'm like a terrible teacher. I coached 2 teams and I would sit in this like these living rooms, and I'd be like, I could say the same thing these kids are saying and it would just be funny. I don't know how to teach funny. It's like you either have it or you don't. And then I would like ask other improv coaches for like advice to be like, how do you get people to be funny? And they're like, I don't know, you just gotta lie to them.
it's really hard. Okay, so personally, I am very, very bad at teaching things that I am naturally good at because I have so much I don't know how to communicate because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just good at it, figure it out. But when I'm really bad at something naturally and I've had to go through the process of learning it from scratch to being good at it, that's when I can actually teach it well because I've done every step of the process and none of it came naturally to me. So the fact that Nicole was bad at teaching improv honestly makes all the sense in the world. We got to take a quick break, but we will be right back. So I had no idea about this. Apparently, Amazon Music lets you listen to podcasts totally ad-free if you're a Prime member. They offer listeners the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts, including Funny 'Cause It's True. And you may or may not know this, but earlier this year, Amazon Music decided to feature my show on a billboard in Times Square. That was so surreal, you guys. I actually flew out with my family to see it, and I'm so glad that I did. It meant so much to see myself up there. We started just as this small idea to like share some of my most embarrassing moments to ending up displaying in the middle of one of the busiest cities in America. Thanks to Amazon Music for showcasing it and helping more people find our show. Amazon Music was proud to feature Funny 'Cause It's True, and so of course I am now happy to feature Amazon Music. There are so many good podcasts on their platform, plus a mind-boggling amount of songs, and Amazon Music wants to help you discover all of it. To listen, download the Amazon Music app or visit amazon.com/FCIT. Avoid the ads and listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free with the Amazon Music app or by visiting amazon.com/FCIT. That's amazon.com/FCIT. Every plate is just next level creative with some of these recipes. I mean, caramelized onion burgers with Dijon aioli and potato wedges, sweet and spicy ponzu pork meatballs with roasted broccoli and buttery rice. These meals are so indulgent and delicious that you'd never believe that Every Plate is 25% cheaper than grocery shopping. Every Plate can help you get more bang for your buck with 25 tasty and affordable recipes to choose from each week. Plus, you also have your choice of 22 sides, snacks, desserts, and more. Better yet, EveryPlate offsets 100% of their carbon footprint to your door, and their meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint on average than supermarket meals of the same portion. What surprised me the most about EveryPlate is how quickly the meals come together. Not only am I saving a ton of time by not waiting in line at the grocery store, but I'm usually done preparing dinner and ready to eat in under 30 minutes. Plus, I always have leftovers, which are the best part of cooking, let's be honest. Get started with EveryPlate for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com/podcast and entering code Elyse149. That's everyplate.com/podcast and code Elyse149. So when you guys were there, you did how many years together? And then did you do any separately?
I guess we started performing together pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. I started in 2009. You started in 2008, right?
Yes. I also believe you started in 2008 despite your lies. And I know you claim to have not even lived in New York in 2008. I know what your claim is.
I wasn't even in New York physically to be able to do it in 2008. It was definitely 2009.
Sure, queen, whatever you want to believe.
We're fighting. I love it. Let's get it out. I love this. And then what did you guys do after? Like, you were there for a while and then how did you move on from that together?
We created a web series that got us a lot of attention, which was really nice.
It was called Pursuit of Sexiness.
It's so good.
Oh, thank you.
Did you guys write that together?
You wrote most of the first season of it. We brainstormed together, but you put most of the pen to paper, I think.
I think it was you're really great at ideating. So I feel like we would throw ideas at each other. And then, I was taking sketch classes at the time, so I could format them into scripts. And then we had help with Todd Bieber directing it. But the great thing about UCB and also just being in New York in your 20s was you can be scrappy. And we
so scrappy.
Just met people to collaborate with, and it's okay, well, this guy has a camera, this guy has a location, this guy, we can figure out something to make together. And that was a lot of our early work because we wanted to do it.
Do you find that doing the podcast, your guys' podcast together, is kind of bringing back those old days of not being afraid to just make something happen together kind of in the moment?
I mean, it's definitely improv energy because we don't plan anything.
You don't plan anything.
We don't plan anything.
This is shocking to me because I overplan and I still feel like I fail 50% of the time. There's an entire staff of people to help me feel prepared before interviews on my podcast. And I still sit down in my chair to do the interview and I'm I don't know what I'm doing. I barely even know my name. So the fact that they just sit down, they're I don't know, we'll just start having a conversation. I will never know confidence like that.
The only thing I know I'm going to say is, hi, Sasheer.
And sometimes that even comes out strange.
God, I love her laugh so much. How did the idea of Best Friends come about? Were you literally just sitting there and you're we should start a podcast?
Actually, Earwolf approached us because someone saw us do improv. And they were you guys have great chemistry. You should do a podcast. And we were I think trying to think about what podcast we would host together. Mm-hmm. And then we were I don't know. We're friends.
We'll just talk.
And also we'll talk. But I like that we also landed on a theme of friendship because friends will call into the show and ask friendship questions and we give advice to the best of our ability. We're not professionals, but we have been friends for a very long time and have gone through so many, ups and downs and wins and losses with each other. And I think we have a good perspective on what it takes to have a lasting, long distance, sometimes adult friendship.
That's a skill that not a lot of people have, including me. I do not know how do you ever feel when you get asked those questions that you don't know what to say? Have you ever had something go completely wrong and you're I don't know, I'm just going to hang up?
I don't think we've had any real tough ones. You're pretty good at listening and then being this. And I'm pretty good at being okay, here's what I was feeling when I was listening. It might be wrong and I may not have been listening fully. But I don't think we've really come across anything too heavy or wild.
I didn't know the array of friendship questions we would get. I thought it'd be I don't know, my friend's boyfriend is annoying, or it's like things like that. But they've gotten as deep as like, my friends won't invite me out anymore because I had kids, and I don't know how to like bring it up because it feels awkward, or like.
And the answer to that is get rid of your kids.
Oh.
Truly, throw them away.
Your friends were here longer.
I thought she was going to say get rid of the friend, but went another direction. What do you guys think differentiates your friendship now as adults versus what it was like when you guys were just meeting as young, scrappy kids?
I was gonna say, like, we have more, like, I think because we're both therapied and we weren't when we met. we have deeper, like, more honest communication, which is nice. Yeah, I feel like we talk about emotions and stuff and how we feel more than we used to. Not that we ignored that stuff before, but I think we just didn't really know how to access it.
Also, we spend more time apart now that we're more adults.
So you appreciate when you come together.
Yeah, when we first met, we were like, we were inseparable. We would like go to the same commercial auditions. We'd get lunch. She'd go to UCB to work. I would sit behind her at the desk just to hang out. We'd go see a show. We would get dinner. Then we'd go separate and go to our separate apartments and then call each other on the phone. Like we were like minute by minute.
And then we traveled together. We were like every waking moment we were together. But now we have jobs.
Do you guys think it's helpful to have somebody who is so like-minded and so focused on the same things, like side by side, as you're kind of chasing these careers? Because I know that being in the entertainment industry is just so wildly chaotic and it can feel so scary, I guess. And it's like, I feel like having somebody next to you that thinks like you might be helpful.
I think it's important to have someone with you for anything, not even the entertainment industry. Like, I can't imagine not having a good best friend. I've had bad best friends where, they don't really treat you nicely and it's a weird one-sided, lopsided relationship. But I feel like I think it's good for everyone to find that person who they can like laugh at anything with and spend lots of time with and have like a nice, healthy relationship. Like, not that ours doesn't have problems. Sometimes we do. But for the most part, it's easy.
Wait, what?
What? We've had a problem or two.
We have problems?
I have one with you right now.
Wait, you got a problem with me?
I have one with you right now. Yeah. Because you lie.
You got a problem with me?
You lived in New York in 2008.
Excuse me?
Nicole, you're going to have to show a photo. You have to have a photo with a date stamp on it. You got to look back in your iCloud and find a
Photos
photo.
or it didn't happen.
Sasheer in New
Do
York.
it.
We're waiting. We have to see this photo. I believe both of you somehow. So I need proof one way or the other.
You know what? The thing is, I definitely moved to New York around New Year's Eve of 2009. So maybe I was there December 31st
September
of
2008. That is Sasheer. I'm kidding. It's a baby doll.
It's a picture of a doll. It's a baby doll.
I don't know why it's in my phone.
Wait, what is that though? And why was that a screenshot or a photo?
I think a screenshot. It's a Miss Mary Cherry doll, and it's like Apple Amy. I don't know why it's in my phone.
So here I am thinking I'm about to see a photo of Sasheer, but Nicole whips her phone around. It's a doll. It's a photo of a doll from 2009. If you haven't seen the Apple Amy dolls, Google it. Just Google it. You'll understand this moment a lot better. I want you right now to come up with a story about why it's in your phone.
It's
I
probably in my
to create a
phone
story.
because I bought one off of eBay, and I think I might have took a screenshot to send to my sister to be like, "Look, I got Apple Amy."
That's amazing.
Where is Apple Amy now?
She's in my office.
Oh, okay, great.
Are you an avid doll collector? Is that what I'm hearing? You have a whole room of dolls?
No.
Yes.
I just like Mary Cherry and her friends because they smell good.
Wait, I have no idea what this is.
Nobody does.
I feel like
Nobody does. She's a knockoff strawberry shortcake doll
oh, okay.
that I had growing up because my mother was too cheap to buy strawberry shortcake. So we got a lot of knockoff things.
Why would you when Mary Cherry exists?
I know. And she smelled so good.
So you had to buy another one of her off eBay.
Well, I don't have any of my dolls from my youth. So like in my office, I've got a lot of I have some troll dolls, Apple Amy, and then another one that was introduced after.
So you are a doll collector.
I guess so. I guess so. I'm a doll collector.
How does that feel, Nicole, to be a doll collector?
It doesn't feel good.
Did you also notice the cardboard cutout of herself behind her?
Is there a doll behind you?
It's a cardboard cutout of myself that's in my guest bedroom that sometimes people who have slept here have complaints about, but I don't care. I'm not moving it.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, you just have it in your guest bedroom and they're watching them sleep.
That's your litmus test for how, if you want to be friends with somebody, you're like, if you can't handle me at my cardboard cutout, then you don't deserve me.
With
all right?
anything.
Speaking of litmus tests, my brother had a company and had a company website for a long time with a staff page on it. And to weed out people that he didn't want to work with that just didn't have a good attitude about life, he put his cats on the staff page with a very professional photo of his cats and professional bios. The people that had an issue with it, he's like, nah, I don't want to work with you. And to this day, I cannot get over how amazing I think that is. Taking a break, and we'll be right back. When you're working on reducing your anxiety or depression, it can be so overwhelming just trying to figure out where to begin. My advice? Don't tackle it alone. There are people who can help you take a step back and assess your options, then find the best one for you. Hers offers access to mental health care that can support you in your day-to-day, including dealing with anxiety and depression. At forhers.com, you can get access to real medical providers who can prescribe trusted mental health medication if it's right for you. The process is 100% online, including free unlimited check-ins, provider messaging, and support along the way. Plus, to make things even simpler, you can get your first month of treatment for just $25 if prescribed. To get started, go to forhers.com/Elyse. That's forhers.com/ELYSE. Hers has helped empower so many people to find the best treatment for themselves, putting it back in your hands. Get started today at forhers.com/Elyse. That's forhers.com/ELYSE. Offer only available if prescribed. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Do you take a million photos and only let them sit in your phone for ages? Well, what if you could put all of your photos from random camera roll pictures to high-res wedding albums onto one gorgeous frame? You can now with a digital frame from Aura. Named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter, The Strategist, and featured in hundreds of gift guides, Aura frames are guaranteed to make mom or grandma smile. An Aura frame brings all your photos and videos together in one stunning high-resolution display where mom can really enjoy them, aka not a group text or on social media. Aura lets you preload any frame with meaningful memories and a special message that will appear as soon as it's set up. Could not be easier. Plus, you can invite the whole family to add to the frame, letting people contribute their memories from wherever they are. Oh, and did I mention there's free unlimited storage? Right now, Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. That's AURA frames.com. Use code Elyse to get up to $30 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver frames. This deal ends on May 14th, so don't wait. Terms and conditions apply. I know that you guys do so much with your actual names on it and so much as yourselves as opposed to playing a written character. Is it hard to tap into your own personal life as creative inspiration?
I think we're both in a very fortunate position where people like us.
Yeah.
They like to know more about us as people or what our opinions are on things, which I guess is what people do look for in comedians. They like a comedian's personality or their point of view or whatever. And
yeah.
And boy, do we have that. But yeah, I love creating stuff as myself because I don't know. It feels authentic, and it feels like I don't need extra stuff to do it. It feels very pure to me. Like, I do love putting out a story or helping someone put out their story or being a part of something that is not me specific, but also I really enjoy using my own voice because I like my voice and I like when other people like my voice too.
Did you feel like it's easier when it's just you and that you get to kind of creatively control something, or do you appreciate input as well? I know that you and Nicole get to do a lot of like back and forth, but outside of that, do you appreciate that, or do you like it to just be your vision and your voice?
It's really nice when it's just my vision, my voice.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is easier.
I love Nicole's input and some other people's voices, but yeah, it is. It's very easy for it to be like too many cooks in the kitchen very quickly.
Yes. I usually, if it is just like my vision, I usually run things past Sasheer, our other friend Mateo, our other friend Christy, my friend Marcella, Emily, some like just to like, because these are people I think are genuinely funny. And sometimes there's the people in charge aren't necessarily like creatives. They're not necessarily like here for your vision. They're here to like get a product out. Totally. So like with my special, I wanted to do something big and stupid in the beginning. So I did this like stripper dance, and then like we threw a doll across the stage to be like, oh, she spun out onto the stage. It's really fucking dumb. And everyone kind of was, I love a doll. And Sasheer watched me pack that doll into a suitcase and hope that TSA didn't open said suitcase. She also watched me have just a fucking meltdown on the plane because I had like 8 carry-ons and they didn't want to let me bring them all on. Anyway, but a couple of people were like, this is expensive and maybe not necessary for your special. But then I like talked to Sasheer and Mateo and I was like, it's going to like come out of my pay or whatever. But like, I think it's funny. And I think both of you were like, if you really want it, you should do it. It's your special. Yeah. How you want to spend your money is how you do it. And I was like, okay. And then I did it. And I'm so grateful that I didn't listen to non-creative people's input. Yeah. I don't want to shit on anybody because it's not like they have their bottom line. I have my bottom line. And it's like to curate my whole vision. But yeah, it's nicer when you don't have people opposing you, when there's no fucking ops, you know?
Yeah. How do you balance like what you want versus what like the non-creative people want? How do you do that?
You pick your battles, baby. Because you can't argue the whole fucking time because then people are like, this girl truly is the worst. But if you like, you go, this is the hill I want to die on for this. And then when it ends up being good, people are like, oh, we're so glad we listened to you. Oh my God. So it's like if you don't pick your battles and you battle on everything and a couple of things end up not so great, then you could have people just be like, oh, you really fought for that and look how it turned out.
I'm curious, the entertainment industry as well as like the comedy space, it doesn't make a lot of room for women, and it definitely doesn't make a lot of room for Black women. And I'm really, really curious how you have felt fighting against that, and if being together and doing this together has both given you a lot of assurance in what you believe in and your creative vision and where you want to end up.
Yeah, I mean, it is really nice to be on the ascent with Nicole because there are plenty of Black female comedians, but you know, it's nice to like have known one from the very beginning to like where we are in our career now. And I feel like as long as you have your people and your community, it doesn't really matter what else is going on in the industry or in the biz. Like you can like create your own stuff. Yeah. You can find your own audience. Like there's always like gatekeepers and stuff like that. But like people will find you. People can find you. People can find the stuff that they like. And if you're putting out stuff that people can relate to, you will do well. Yeah.
Nicole, do you have anything magic to add?
I don't think so. I think Sasheer said it all.
Boom.
It was insightful. It was good.
Thank you so much.
I love getting to connect with women like especially that when you guys prioritize like relationships, because a lot of comedy does like rely on people around you and like the yes-anding of people, but a lot of it is also competitive, and a lot of it feels like yes until you get an opportunity that I wanted, and then all of a sudden like I won't cheer you on anymore. And I'm curious if you've met a lot of people like that in your life that you're like, I thought you were cooler than that.
Not really. I feel like the friends I've made in the comedy space have all been like, a win for you is a win for me. And I feel the same way about a lot of other people. But that's not to say that I don't get jealous. Like sometimes Sasheer hears all of my inside thoughts where I'm just like, oh, I can't believe they got this. And she's like, yeah, but like, look at what you have. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine. And then
I'm doing fine.
Also, it's like one of those things where like, I try to really live by the keep your eyes on your own paper mentality. And if someone gets something, then that ultimately wasn't meant for you. Like it just wasn't meant for you. It's not a personal thing. It's just kind of like the universe doesn't want you to do that, and that's okay. Something else will, like, there's a million doors in this world. One will open for you to do what you want to do.
That's great advice. Is there something that like you are proud of in the other person? Like, okay, pause really quick. This question I just asked is a huge Jonas Myers move. If we're ever in like a group of people, Jonas will just randomly out loud yell above everybody else's conversation, like, all right, everybody stop what you're doing. Say one nice thing about fill in the blank, like whoever he chooses to do that to in the moment. And it's so awkward, but it's also really, really fun to hear people's answers and what they enjoy about that other person. So this was definitely me subconsciously doing this right here. Can each of you give something where you're like, I just see this in them and I'm so proud to be their friend because of this?
I'm so proud to be friends with
Yeah, I know, sorry.
one of the funniest people I've ever met. People always think Sasheer's the straight man, but she has said some of the wildest shit that I've ever heard. She said the funniest joke about this child on a plane that I will not repeat because I don't want to get my friend canceled, but it was so, I was gasping. She was just like snuggled up in her seat. There was a man that we didn't know. I think the child's father. Oh no, a different kid's father. And then our friend Mateo, and then me. And Mateo and I were dying laughing, just like wheezing. And so she was just like, and that just like made it funnier. I'm also proud. I don't know. There's just so many things about you that are so nice. Like when my feelings are hurt, you take the time to like understand why, or if I can't, like earlier when I was trying to explain the different lady levels and you were like, I'll just interpret this because she's not making sense. And that's nice that you're never like, oh, you fucking idiot.
Let me correct you.
You just like very gently are like, I think you mean this. Or you just let things go and it's just the two of us. And then you'll ask me like a couple hours later, what did you mean by that? I'm like, oh, I've had time to marinate.
That's really special.
Thank you, Nicole.
Sasheer, what about you?
I'm proud of Nicole for being so generous. I feel like you're very generous with everything, with your time, with your wins, with your accomplishments. I feel like you just are so good about helping the people you love, and whether that be family or friends or whoever is in your life, and you do it with such ease, without question. You're like, oh, someone needs a thing, I'll help, or even if they didn't ask for help, she's just very good about being like, I don't know, you need a job, oh, I'll take you on the road, or like you need a thing, you can like stay in my place for a bit, or you just I don't know many people who have such a big heart. It's really admirable.
Thank you. Aww. That's nice.
Just a big group hug. And then what are you most excited to do in the future?
I'm most excited to continue collaborating in the future. I'm most excited to like have these like big special moments with my best friend. Like she got to go to the Emmys with me last year and that was like magical. Cool. I just want to keep doing shit with you. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I love that. What about you, Sasheer?
I'm most proud of our stand-up special that no one has bought and is not out anywhere yet, but it exists.
It's really funny.
Thank you.
You should be proud of that. Getting an hour special is so much work. It's like that is so much work.
It was a lot of work. It will be out in some way.
And then what are you most excited about coming up?
I'm excited for my special to be out sometime. I just don't know how yet. But it's like I'm in the middle of that process. But I had such a blast putting it together. I think it's like, I feel like it's the peak of my skill as a joke writer and performer. And Nicole put a bunch of input in and like helped make some jokes like the funniest they could be. And she also like literally buckled my shoes before I went on stage. Like, she was being so supportive the whole time. And I'm super proud of that. I think people will really like it when it comes out into the world at some point in time. And
I felt like a proud mother watching. I was like, that's my baby. That's my baby. When they'd laugh, I'd be like, that's right, you laugh at my baby. That's right. She said funny things.
Someone doesn't laugh, you just go like punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you, that's my baby.
Yeah, great. That's a great answer.
Yeah. And for this Marvel show I'm shooting.
Dude.
I think it's really like the craziest thing I've ever shot. And I think it'll be really cool.
That's so wild. I cannot wait to see that. That is a huge deal. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you seriously so much. It was really good to meet you. Thank you so much for listening to my conversation with Nicole Byer and Sasheer Zamata. Make sure to check out all of their various personal projects like Nailed It, Grand Crew Season 2, Home Economics, and listen to Best Friends wherever you get podcasts. If you like this show, give us a rating and a review. It helps other people find us. Okay, more next week. Bye. There's more Funny Because It's True with Lemonada Premium. Get access to all of Lemonada's premium content, including My 5 Questions with Josh Johnson, which came out last Friday. Subscribe now in Apple Podcasts. Hey Prime members, did you know that you could be listening to this episode of Funny Because It's True ad-free on Amazon Music? With Amazon Music, you get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts. Start listening today with the Amazon Music app. Funny Because It's True is a Lemonada Media and Powder Keg production. The show is produced by Claire Jones, Zoe Dennis, and Linnea Tony. Our associate producer is Tiffany Bowie. Rachel Neal is our Senior Director of New Content, and our VP of Weekly Production is Steve Nelson. Executive producers are Stephanie Whittles-Wax, Jessica Cordova-Kramer, Paul Feig, Laura Fisher, Kesla Childers, and me, Elyse Myers. This show is mixed by Johnny Vince Evans, additional help from Noah Smith and Ivan Krayev. Our theme song music was written by me and scored by Xander Singh. Follow Funny Because It's True wherever you get your podcasts, or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. Boo-doo-doo-doo-boom-doo.
Hi, my name is Kelsey McKinney, and I'm the host of Normal Gossip, a show that is now back for its 4th season with Radiotopia. Normal Gossip is a show about the petty, the ridiculous, and the strange stories that surround us in the world, and the way that we share those stories with each other. In the top half of the show, Normal Gossip investigates how gossip functions in the world and how we use it for good, for evil, and for neutral. The stories are sent in by listeners, anonymized, and retold to a guest who is asked to weigh in on the actions, beliefs, and decisions made by the people in the stories. We have a great time on this show, and if you love mess, please come join us.
If you love Lemonada content, a quick, easy, and free way to help us keep our shows running is to fill out our anonymous listener survey. By just answering a few questions, you can help us find new brands to connect with and also share feedback about show content you'd like to see across the network. And even better, once you've completed the survey, you can enter for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. The survey is short and sweet and will help us play ads you don't want to skip and also keep bringing you content you love. Just go to lemonadamedia.com/survey. Survey. 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 Survey.